How you doing? This is Brother T. If you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts and other merch right there in the description. Just hit the link.
You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So before we get into the show, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that subscribe button, because when you hit that like and subscribe button, we can continue to give you these pine cones of wisdom. If you don't know what a pine cone of wisdom is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. So today we're going to talk about twin flames. Oh boy, twin flames. I know you've heard this word kind of thrown around in movies, TV shows, and other things, maybe even on the internet. So we're going to go touch lightly into what twin flames are. I'm not going to go too deep, but I'm going to touch the surface. You can do your own research from there, because there's a lot of research out there to figure out what it is. So if you looked at another episode that I made called Soulmates, actually this is the first time you're going to hear me do this, but I recommend you go back and look at that first before you even finish this one, because they tie in. And twin flames, believe it or not, are a type of soulmate. All right, so if you remember from the other episode, I can just recap it right quick. I would rather you look at that whole episode, but if you don't, I'll recap it real fast. So a soulmate is a soul connection where two people feel like they are linked on a soul level in a significant way. They might feel as though they've known each other in a past life, or their souls just agree when they meet those people. All right, that's a soulmate. And if you remember from the other episode as well, your soulmate doesn't always have to be in a romantic sense. Sometimes your soulmate can come in the form of your friends. Some people in your families are your soulmates, okay? So it doesn't always have to be romantic. However, twin flames, that's a whole different story. We're almost there. So speaking about your soulmates, you have different kinds of soulmates. You have different types. You have karmic soulmates. Okay, so what's a karmic soulmate? Karmic soulmate is somebody that you learn a lesson from. It can be good or bad. Most of the time bad. Okay, so think about those relationships that were like terrible, you know what I mean? And maybe they started out good and they became rocky, but it's something about this person that even though it's so toxic when you're with them, it's hard to break yourself away from them. You probably had a karmic soulmate. Now it's up to you whether you learn that lesson from that person or not. Maybe the lesson is loving yourself more, right? Sometimes people get into those situations with those karmic soulmates and they forget to love themselves, and they get ran over, or they get mistreated in some kind of way. And sometimes they mistreat themselves by thinking they don't deserve better than that. And at the end of the day, when that relationship is over, or if it gets kind of rocky, if you start to do that work, the lesson that you were supposed to take out of it, then a lot of times you can escape and rise above that situation and to a better day, right? So karmic soulmates always teach us a lesson. So another form of soulmate, so we talked about regular soulmates, and there's many different types, but we're not going to go into that. This video will be 8 hours long. So you have those soulmates, you have karmic soulmates where you're supposed to learn your spiritual lesson. Then you have twin flames. Now twin flames are a little different. So some believe that twin flames are actually one soul that was split into two bodies. You come down to this earthly plane, and those two souls spend a lifetime trying to come back together as one. Now, a few things to consider when having a twin flame, because it sounds so romantic and it sounds so wonderful and beautiful, doesn't it? And I know you're like, wow, I want to meet mine if I have one, right? There's one thing about it though, is that it's never easy for a twin flame couple to come together. Now remember, if you're one soul and you're split into two, you're trying to come back as one, it's not as easy as you think, because you say, well, I love myself, so if I see somebody's mirroring me, then I'm gonna love that, and that's gonna be easy. No, absolutely not, because your twin flame is always going to reflect to you things that you have to improve on. Okay, so you might meet up with your twin flame, or you might know who it is. Every time you look into their eyes, you see something different, right? It's like, whoa, I never felt like that looking in anybody's eyes. That might be good or bad. You might look into their eyes and start feeling insecure about yourself, like, oh, hold on, this person is a different kind of person. I gotta work on some stuff here, right? Or one twin flame might do the work earlier, right? And when I say the work, we're talking about knowledge of self, improving themselves. So if one twin flame is doing the work early, and then one twin flame is not doing the work at all, or barely doing the work, then that one that's not doing the work, he's going to look at the other one, maybe get intimidated, okay? And instead of doing the work, they might run. So a lot of times that's one dynamic in a twin flame situation, is that you'll have a runner. Okay, now the running dynamic does not have to be one way. It could be one person runs and one person's ready for the union. When that person comes back and he's done running, now the other person might run now, because they don't really trust the other one because of the past stuff they were doing, and now one's ready and the other one's running. Sometimes you will have that dynamic in a twin flame union. A twin flame union will not come together unless both sides have done their work, right? And well, you can force them to come together. Maybe I should backtrack on that. You can force a twin flame union, but it's going to head down the road to disaster if both sides have not done their work. Maybe I should have phrased it like that. So when you have both sides and they've done their work and it comes together in the twin flame union, that's where you can get a beautiful situation. All right. Now, in the twin flame journey, you're going to have two main components. OK, so one is going to be called the divine feminine. Then one is going to be called the divine masculine. I know you're saying, well, that's easy. The divine masculine is the man and divine feminine is the woman. Not necessarily. That's where you have to have a little more understanding on that, because in a twin flame union, you have a divine feminine, divine masculine, but a guy can be the divine feminine and a woman can be the divine masculine. It all depends on how they take on the energy, okay? And this is energy we're talking about, not gender, for those that don't know, just so you won't get confused, okay? We're talking about energy, we're talking about traits, okay? So you can be a woman and be in your masculine. You can be a man and be in your feminine and not be gay or homosexual or anything like that. Has nothing to do with it. All right, so just remember that for later. Okay, so I don't want you to always think it's like that. Now, it is said that a lot of times the divine feminine would be the one that works on themselves first. Okay, sometimes they do the work first, and the divine masculine, a lot of times they'll come around to doing their work. It doesn't have to be that way. This is just how it usually goes in a twin flame union. Now, oftentimes in a twin flame situation, twin flames can love, challenge, teach, and heal one another in a unique and powerful way. Very unique and powerful. That's why coming together, if one does the work, one doesn't, they look into each other's eyes, one might get intimidated, okay? They don't get necessarily intimidated because this person is better, but just they'll start to see their insecurities in the other person. They start doing the work. Remember, it's supposed to be one soul that's split. So there's a lot of similarities going on. And actually, I would say there's similarities, but differences at the same time. I know you're saying, how can that be? That doesn't make sense. But actually, it really, really does. You can be so alike that you're different, right? I'll give you an example. All right, so let's say you're a divine feminine and you really love your friends, right? You're very outgoing with your people. And let's say you're a divine masculine. You're also outgoing and you love your friends. Now, your divine feminine might have better choices of friends that they trust, that they rely on, that they are there for. Where the divine masculine, if they're not working on themselves, they can pick bad friends but still be just as loyal. in that way, you're similar but different. Okay. That's the best I can do for right now. If I think of something better, I'll come with it. But kind of like that, right? So you're so similar, but you're so different at the same time. And I mentioned over and over again, when you look into your twin flame's eyes, it's just something there. It's something that it's unexplainable, and you both will feel it. Whether you both admit it or not is another story, but you'll both feel it, okay? And sometimes you'll get that with soulmates as well, but twin flames is a little different. It's a little different. Now, and there's always, and I have to explain this, or I have to at least get this out there, is that there's always an intense pull towards each other as well. Even if you're in the same room and you're just saying hi and bye, there's always a just pull. Like it's something about you I just can't get over. Like I'm supposed to not like you. You know what I mean? We're so different, but we're so alike, and then I don't get it. But I always feel drawn to you, no matter what you do to me, no matter how crazy you are. It's just this draw. All right. So twin flame journey, very interesting. Let me tell you. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that, you know, spiritually we're talking, it transcends all rules and regulations. So throw out the rules of love, throw out the rules of engagement, throw out the rules of courtship, throw out the rules of falling in love. Sometimes twin flames can see each other, come into union, and immediately both of them have that same intense love for each other. All right, so I want you to get in there. There's all sorts of other things that go in the twin flame journey, but I want you to take it upon yourself to do the research from here. Okay, dig in those books. You might have to find a few good videos on it, but trust me, once you start digging in, you're gonna find that it's very, very interesting. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a good story to at least read. Because when you read through it, it's like, wow, this is very cool, right? Even if I'm not going through it, it's, you know, it's almost like fiction novel-ish, right? Okay. And another thing that I should note is that most people will not ever meet their twin flame. Most people will not ever meet their twin flame. Some people will be lucky enough to meet their twin flame and not come into union. There's always something keeping them from being in union. Maybe one is not working on themselves. Maybe both of them aren't working on themselves at the time. But you know, you'll meet that type as well. And then you have the ones that eventually meet each other and they'll eventually get into union. Now, the funny thing about it, or the crazy thing about it, is there's no time stamp. There's no, in the spiritual realm, we need to understand that there's no concept of time, right? So divine timing is not like yours. For those that are religious, you should understand the concept, okay? It's just like some Christians would say, God doesn't always come when you want him, but he always come when you need him, or something similar to that. That's along the same concept. There's no concept of time in the spiritual realm. All right, so it's not going to happen within a year or within 6 months. Hey, it could take 10 years to come into union with your twin flame. It could take 15 years. Okay, it all depends on the process and how much work both people are coming into contact with. Your next question will probably be, before it ends, Terrion, do you know who your twin flame is? I believe I do. I believe I do, and I don't know if she know who she is or not, or if she is or not. And I'm not concerned about that, because it's not my place to tell somebody they're my twin flame to try to have some kind of fairy tale ending. Either it's going to come together or not. Right? Because I look at that like, if you know, if you think you know, and then you let it out the bag that you think that way, then now you leave room for manipulation, either from your side or even their side, right? So you just leave it alone. But I believe I do. Whether we come together or not, I'm not concerned with that at this point. I just want a solid connection that I can live for the rest of my life with, whether it's that person or not. Not really concerned. All right, so this is your man, Brotha T, and you want to know more about twin flames, get in there, do the research, and good luck on that. I hope you find some really cool stuff. All right, because I actually left out a lot of stuff. This video would have been 10 hours long, and I know you don't want that. So this is your man, Brotha T, signing off. This was another hot one. Make sure you look at that one on soulmates, twin flames, and we'll do some more dealing with spiritual type relationships too, because this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll do a whole episode on karmic soulmates. That'd be awesome too, wouldn't it? All right, so I'll check you on the next one, fam, and I'm out of here. Peace. Thanks for stopping through.